Digitize and monetize with iEnt Live, the only platform that provides complete digital support for entertainers, promoters, businesses, and entrepreneurs. Leverage our one-stop digital ecosystem that will allow you to promote your music, sell albums, and host paid events, host webinars and sell courses, promote your concerts, sell tickets and live stream events, and market your business or project to generate new customer leads, traffic, and more. This is all supported by our homegrown AI-driven digital marketing infrastructure that has successfully served hundreds of clients around the world. To learn more, send us a message or call 765-4641.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to Bloodline Podcast on iEnt Live. My guest this evening is popular radio personality Ken Simmons. Ken, welcome.
Thank you, Godfather. Yeah. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So how are you doing? You everything right?
I am doing well given the circumstances.
Yeah, boy.
You know, we all have to adjust in this crazy time. So thankfully, I'm alive and well, and I'm doing good by the grace of God.
Well, very good. Tell me something about Ken Simmons. Ken, where were you born? Where you grew up? Stuff like that.
All right. Okay. Well, I was born and bred right here, Trinidad, Port of Spain. Grew up in the hills of Prisgalands, Lavantil. As you would know, and most of your viewers may know, my father, well-known radio personality broadcaster, Phil the Trill from Lavantil.
That's right.
Right? So we grew up in Prisgalands, Lavantil, and a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about Lavantil, and probably they have justification because they're not from the area, but there's a lot of great things that come out of Lavantil, right? Not just myself, but many others, as you would know. So
I can attest to that because I too am from Lavantil. So
right. So you see, so we like to highlight the negatives and not shine the spotlight on the positives. So a proud Lavantil born and bred. We left there in 1998 and we moved to Aruka. I attended Belmont Intermediate, okay, and stayed there for 5 years, almost 5 years. I say almost 5 years because I never finished intermediate.
Okay.
Right? And it's because, unfortunately, well, depending on how you want to look at it, during those formative years, I was influenced in the wrong way, with the wrong crowd. And I got myself involved into a lot of nefarious activities.
Yeah.
Even before we left Lavantil, being in the area, of course, in any way and in any life, you would have positive and negative. So I was kind of gravitating towards the negative elements in the area, and always wanting to fit in and to be accepted. As a young man, you want to fit in. You want to be a part of the community, of the group. You want to have some sort of level of respect. So I was influenced in a negative way. So I was very rebellious among the parents, right? Unfortunately, I've told this story many times publicly. My dad and I, when we were living in Lavantil, we had a fight, like a literal fight.
Yeah.
And I drew a cutlass for him, and I run behind him, and he knocked me out cold. Luckily, when I swing the cutlass, it was on the dull side, and it fractured his hand, and he knocked me out cold, right? And it was very unfortunate, and they decided, you know what, we have to move out of Lavantil for many other reasons too. So, we moved and we went up Aruka. And to be honest, Peter, in those years, going into teenage years, Dad and I had a rough relationship. A very rough one, but thankfully it has smoothed out now, and he's very proud of what I do. So I give God thanks and praise for that. So I attended intermediate. I didn't finish school. I didn't finish because, again, going down that bad boy, rebellious life, and I was fighting in school, missing class, all sorts of negative stuff. And there was a particular class that the teachers come together and said, these group of students, we refuse to teach because of the indiscipline, all right? It was called 5F, and I was a part of that class. Now, if you know Belmont Intermediate, there's an orphanage next to it.
Yeah.
And one time in that particular class that we were in, it was a class just for us to monitor our presence, but no teachers were coming to teach us, right? So I found, they say that the devil have use for idle hands, right? So it was a particular incident when I took a bottle and I pelted in the orphanage next door. And I got a next bottle and I keep pelting it. And a teacher wanted to report what I was doing in the staff room. At the time, Roderick Glasgow was the principal. I run in the staff room and I say, who report me there and get on and cuss and get on. And they drove me out to the school and eventually I was expelled from Belmont Intermediate. Wow. Right?
Well, you have turned out quite good after that experience.
Yes, thankfully.
What influenced your love of music? Besides
being around Dad in the entertainment industry, it was in my DNA, in my blood.
Yeah.
I love soca music, obviously, but there's a special place for reggae music that I love. But for music, I love all types of genres. And even though that people told me, so listen, you have the gift of your father, you have a voice, why you don't use it? I never really pushed towards getting into the entertainment industry, into the media industry.
Yeah.
Only in 2006, where I was given an opportunity by Jamie Thomas, God rest his soul, on I-95.5 FM, The Perfect 10. So I started off in the gospel arena because, I missed a lot of the story to reach to that point because I gave my life to the Lord during that whole transition there. God had saved me and turned my life around. So I started off in gospel in 2006, and my love for music just transcends and grew until today. Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists? You mentioned you love for reggae and also for soca and other genres, but who are some of your favorite artists?
I'll tell you. You see Rasho T.I.? Rasho T.I. in soca and calypso. I think his contribution, of course, the father of soca, and to see that, of course, he invented Jamu, and just his whole not just vibe. I mean, to say his legacy that he's left to his children, his music, and before he has passed away, the new genre that he has created. So I have a special love for Rasho T.I. in the reggae industry and the reggae music. I love Garnet Silk. Absolutely love Garnet Silk music. Yeah.
What about the R&B and hip hop and stuff like that?
R&B, hip hop, R&B. I would have to say between Mary J. Blige. I love Mary J. And I love Whitney Houston. And MJ. MJ is the boss. Love MJ.
Something serious though. Okay, so you have carved a niche for yourself on the radio. Yes?
Yes.
My question to you is, what do you think is needed or necessary for there to be more airplay on the radio for pan and soca music? What do you think is needed?
Well, I think one, the stakeholders, the program directors, the presenters themselves who execute on air has to have a genuine love and interest in pan and calypso and soca. So they have to be aware of it. They have to listen to the music, be familiar with the artists, the bands and the leaders, to have something not just interesting, but something to add their own 2 cents in relation to when they are presenting it to the public, right? In this business, it's all about making money, Peter. You and I know that, right? And to be honest, the things that I've heard in relation to why pan is not being played more on the mainstream on radio is that it's not financially viable. I don't know if that is entirely, well, to some degree it is, but then if we put a little focus on it and make it a little bit more attractive, it can be just like everything else.
On this topic, Calypsonian was telling me the other day that to make a Calypso, for instance, more palatable and attractive, maybe they need to condense the compositions. The person called a Calypso, for instance, that the 4 verses and chorus took 13 minutes.
Right.
The length of it is 13 minutes. You think that maybe somehow condensing compositions, condensing performances would make it more attractive?
Absolutely. In life, the only constant is change, and we are constantly evolving. You and I are constantly growing. We're supposed to be growing. And in order for us to make it more attractive, we have to adapt. We have to change. Some of the old time calypsos, just the entry alone, sometimes it's 3-4 minutes, just the beat alone played, right? So if we could condense it, cater to lyrics that will appeal to the younger generation, because they have a different mindset and thinking based on their parents and their grandparents. So yes, focus has to be placed on making calypso and soca, not to change the essence of it, but to package it differently so that it will appeal to a younger demographic.
Do you see yourself eventually becoming a singing artist, like some of your colleagues?
Actually, yes. Actually, very much so. Somebody asked me funny enough, you asked me that yesterday. Somebody asked me, says, how come you didn't sing a soca parango or a soca as yet? And that is on my bucket list. I just didn't want to do it to do it sick. I want to do it when I want to come out. I want to consistently do it and do it properly. But I have people say, listen, you have the tone, you have the voice, you have the vibes to do it. Why not do it? I guess in time, but very soon, hopefully very soon, probably less than a day, you should hear me come out with my own track. So hopefully very soon.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, man.
Talking about vibe, how do you maintain that hype and energy that you seem to work with and project?
It has a lot to do, Peter, with preparation, right? A lot to do with preparation. A lot of people who have inspired me in the media fraternity have talked about, listen, when you're going to host an event, when you're going to do anything in a public space, preparation is key. So there's certain things that I do before. One main thing that I do before, Peter, is I project my thoughts before I'm actually there. So I spend some alone time, quiet myself. It don't have to be a long period, 5-10 minutes. And if I know the place, I will envision, okay, if I'm in the studio, all right, I'm seeing myself behind the microphone, and I'm doing certain things, and I keep that energy, and that transfer of spirit, people feel it. So a lot has to do with preparation, and you have to be joyful. You can't give what you don't first possess, Peter. Yeah. So I have to be happy with myself. I have to enjoy what I do and not just think of it as a task. Yeah. And people will feel that energy, and it all boils down to, Peter, preparation. And what gives me the effectiveness when I'm on air, or even if I'm doing anything in relation to public speaking on a whole, is reading. Reading is very, very, very important. So when you read on a wide range of topics, when your vocabulary, when you continue to expand your vocabulary, you're able to flow better, and that energy is able to flow. And the people who listen or view you will feel that energy.
Talking about the energy and the hype and the vibrancy that you transcend, right? You have a Keep Fit project that's very popular as well, right? How that project came about,
Well, funny enough, right? In the ending of 2012, I was preparing to go on the road to look good. I never really had abs before. So I was working with a good brethren of mine. So when I go on the road, I want to look good on the road abs. And I achieved that goal. So in 2013, I was out and bad, as they say on the road. And the owner of the gym that I attended at that time, CLX Health and Fitness Center, he said, why don't you enter a national competition? There's a new physique, there's a new category called men's physique. I think you'll do good in it. It's a model type finish. Yeah. And I challenged myself and I did it. And since I competed in the National Bodybuilding Fitness Championships, I came second in the country first time. I competed at the senior level. I came second again, and I got an opportunity to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships. So I did the circuit for 2013 to 2015, and I decided, you know what, I think I need to be honest, to be very honest, I didn't want to indulge in any of the anabolic steroids because I recognized people in my category were doing that, and I didn't want to interfere with that. So I decided to form my own company and business to help people achieve their fitness goals. And when I left my former radio station at the time, Ebony 104.1 FM, I was looking for viable income. I said, what should I do? And I said, you know what? Let me get myself in the best shape. I took on 1 client, 2 clients, and then lo and behold, I decided to register the company. I said, what is a name that will suit me and the brand that I want to establish? And GritFit was born. And now we're on television, CNC3, 5:30 every morning, my wife and I. And you know, we are in people's homes, helping them reach their fitness goals, contributing in any small way. So I'm very happy about that.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So we have come to the part of the interview I call blood pressure.
I hope I'm ready for that.
That's the section, and I ask you some questions, and you make a choice. Okay?
Sure.
So, question number 1: keep fit or radio?
Radio.
Okay. Seafood or steak?
Seafood. I was a steak man before, but seafood no.
Salads or Creole food?
Creole food.
Okay. Chocolate or fruitcake?
Chocolate. That's chocolate, man.
Beach or river?
River. Yeah, I like river.
Football or cricket?
Football.
Instagram or WhatsApp?
Instagram.
Okay. Cinema or Netflix?
Netflix.
Dancehall or Afrobeats?
Dancehall.
So, Destra or Shenesi?
Destra, Shensia.
Yeah.
Shensia, boy. Shensia, I love that. Destra, I love it, darling, but both, I can't both.
No, not really. But
all right. Shensia.
Okay. Christmas or Carnival?
Carnival, boy.
Carnival. You answered with flying colors. Okay?
Yeah.
NLCB doesn't want you to play with your life. NLCB wants you to be safe by following the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Stay hydrated with Caribbean spring water. Natural alkaline spring water from the Northern Range. Kennyton?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it or has it been a challenge being the son of a media icon and following his footsteps?
Yes, obviously. For many years, Peter, you will know, people used to call me Phil Son. So, walking into shadows, and, I don't want to be referred to that. And now, thankfully, many years after, people referring me as Ken Simmons. Well, that's what they know me as. My real name is Kennyton, but I've made a name for myself in the same field and area, and I have Daddy to thank, with that in so many ways, As I mentioned, we had a rough start, but Yeah. God has really, mended our relationship, and we couldn't be closer.
Now, if you had to choose an alternative career, let's say he went into the music thing, the entertainment thing, or the keep fit. What other career you could have seen? What you would have liked to do?
I think I would have been in probably in social work.
Okay.
Because added to that, I'm also a motivational speaker as well. I've done that for many years. So I have a passion to pass on what I have learned to the next generation.
Beautiful.
Right? Because so many other times, sometimes we so focus on what we're doing, we don't take time to look back to pass on to the next generation so that they will have the information as early as possible to develop faster. So I think social work would be it.
You're seeing that, you're passing on information and stuff like that. What ingredients do you think are necessary to be a good radio presenter?
Oh, one, definitely. You have to have self-confidence. It is okay to try to emulate and mimic someone for a time, but you have to know who you are to put that out there. That's one, right? So develop self-confidence. Secondly, you have to develop an insatiable desire to learn. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. So learn about things. Get a topic that you're passionate about. So when you open up your mouth, people say, hey, he or she has something to say. And love reading. It will help you. It will help you when you're reading a script, when you're speaking on the air. You can go into the little dialect, but that's why a lot of people complain locally that it's like, oh gosh, I can't listen to radio because too many green verbs are not professional. But thankfully, I've been coached by Daddy and many others who have mentored me to listen when you're presenting, present properly, and make sure that you have proper vocabulary when you open up that microphone on the radio.
Besides Phil the Trill Simmons of Laventil, and besides him, do you have any other favorite radio or television personalities?
I would well, in relation to mentorship and people who have contributed growing up, I have Glenn Antoine. May his soul rest in peace. Glenn Antoine really guided me while he was alive. Right. I want to thank Adrian Dunmora. Adrian Dunmora has been played a significant role and part. Presently, right now, Signal is there.
Yeah.
I want to thank God for Signal too as well. And also, who else? I hope I'm not missing anybody. Oh, Sharon Pitt. How can I forget Sharon Pitt? I've hosted many events with Sharon Pitt. Sharon Pitt has been a tremendous blessing in my life. Sharon, I love you.
There's a couple more questions I have for you.
Yes.
What has COVID-19 taught you about yourself?
COVID-19 has taught me that the things that we contemplate on whether or not we should do it or not do it because of fear or any other inhibitions is to, just do it. Just do it because life is short. Things can change in a moment.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, things can change in a moment. It has taught me that, listen, if you have something to do, if you have an idea, Peter, we give ourselves excuses why we shouldn't do this and do that. And I want to commend you for starting this podcast. It's like, let's do it. And you did it, and the great reviews and has been coming in. And I'm proud of you, Godfather.
Thank you. Last question. Yeah. What future plans do you have for you? What are your plans for down the road? What do you like to be doing next?
For me, I want to be established as a world-class media practitioner. And to have influence not just in the region but globally. Something like a Steve Harvey, that I can handle myself in any situation. Not just I could talk about the serious issues and motivate people, but make people laugh, bring joy to people, right? So that's my ultimate goal. And also all the information and nuggets that I've learned throughout the years to pass it on as much as possible, particularly in relation to health. Because if you're not healthy, you're not able to express enthusiasm and you have that drive to do whatever that you are aiming towards, whatever is your goal and vision. So for me, the future is to develop my brand, develop me as an individual so that I'll be able to serve others, because it will never increase your wealth, right? Unless and until you increase your quality and level of service. Okay. So that's my goal over the next few years, by God's grace.
Well, I wish you all the best, all success. Continue to get bigger and stronger and more. I don't mean physically stronger. I mean stronger in your career.
Thank you.
And all the best to you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. It's a privilege
To be my guest.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Great. You have been looking at a Bloodline Podcast on iEnt Live, sponsored by NLCB. My guest this evening has been popular radio personality, gym fitness instructor, Ken Simmons. Remember to tune in next Friday at the same time when I host another of our creatives. Bloodline Podcast on iEnt Live is sponsored by NLCB and Caribbean Spring Water. Have a good evening. Ciao.
Digitize and monetize with iEnt Live, the only platform that provides complete digital support for entertainers, promoters, businesses, and entrepreneurs. Leverage our one-stop digital ecosystem that will allow you to promote your music, sell albums, and host paid events, host webinars and sell courses, promote your concerts, sell tickets and live stream events, and market your business or project to generate new customer leads, traffic, and more. This is all supported by our homegrown AI-driven digital marketing infrastructure that has successfully served hundreds of clients around the world. To learn more, send us a message or call 765-4641.